Welcome to DS Trucks. So the Fisher XLS is broke down, and it is a simple leak, but not so easy to repair. So what ended up happening with the Plow is, out of nowhere, it just started acting funny. It started to slow down, the responsiveness went away, and it just didn't seem right. So I continued to plow for a couple more hours, and it just started dying a slow death. Now, it's a little bit strange of a leak. It doesn't actually like shoot any oil out or anything like that. And it just, when you hit a certain function, it just loses its responsiveness. And it leads me to believe that it's not a high pressure hose leak, but a return line leak. Now, with these wings, they use pressure to expand out, and then they use springs to return. And whenever I use the wing operation on the Plow, that's when things get weird. After you expand it and then I retract it, after I retract it, it just aerates all the fluid, and it just, I'll show you guys, don't worry. I'll definitely show you before we do anything. But I did step out of the truck, and I noticed that over here, there is a sign, there's signs of oil leaking. If you look real close, I've sprayed off the truck, but you can see that there is oil driplets right there. So there probably could be an issue in this area, but I cannot tell exactly where. There's signs of oil down here, and this is where I saw blue oil in the snow when it was snowing. But I'm gonna go ahead and ultimately remove this hose. Now, the problem with this whole deal is all these hoses are wrapped up real tight. They're all wrapped up tight. So in order to replace one hose, you really got to take this whole thing off, I think. Comment below and tell me what you think. But I think with this, I've already kind of unwrapped some of it. You know, just, it's not hard to rewrap or unwrap. But as it goes back, there's 3 hoses all in one bundle. And then it comes out here, and then there's just the 2, and there's some extra wrapping here with some hose. And it does look like something happened around here, like some kind of a contact. I don't know if that's the issue, but it's definitely just one of the hoses that is leaking. So I'm going to go ahead and take all this off. Now look at the complication here. In order to get the D hose off, the C hose is in the way of the D hose. So both of these lines have to come off anyway. And then coming over here, as I said, this whole bundle is wrapped up. So in order to get to the hoses here, these 2 will come off, but the second one back here, that one there, has to, this one has to come off to get the back one off. And then as part of the 3 hoses, this back one here is part of the 3, and it's in the way. This front one is in the way of the rear one. So I've got to take off this hose to get to the back one, to get these 2 have to come off. Then this whole thing can come off apart. Then these 2 have to come off, and there's hardly any access here. Like when you think about putting a wrench on it, you got to really, like, I don't know how it's going to happen, but somehow it's going to happen. And then once all those hoses are off, only then can you remove the whole 3 bundle of hoses and have it off of the Plow, and you could take it apart and see what the heck is going on and where is it leaking, which hose is actually leaking, and get it back up and running. But anyway, I'm gonna actually pull the truck off of the Plow so that I can have more room. And I'm going to, well, before I do that, I want to actually show you guys what the heck is happening and how it looks. But let me get it started up, and we'll see what the heck is going on. All right, guys, so looking at the truck here, let's go ahead and run through the functions and see what it's actually doing. Oh, there, if you can see me. Hi, everybody. All right, so up, goes up fine, goes right, goes left, no issues. Down, up, all good. So the Plow does work, and that's good to see. Let's do a little test here. Let's pull on the blade. Seems a little squishy, not ideal. Should be tighter than that. Let's go down and up. Seems like the plow has air in the system. Let's see if just going down and up, if the motor will work out some of that air, if it'll tighten up. Because the motor does kind of get air out of the system, even if the fluid gets aerated, which is not good. But see now, that tightened it up a little. Let's do left and right. Stop to stop. See now, it's tightening up. So the pump, so the system's getting air in it, and the pump's working the air out. Now, let's go ahead and use the scoop function and see what happens. So when we hit scoop, great, we're scooped. Now let's see. So our pressure was applied to our scoop circuit, still tight, everything's still good. So I don't think anything's wrong with the scoop hose, whichever hose is the scoop hose. But let's go ahead and hit retract. Now that we've retracted it, now let's check and see if it's loose. Still not loose. Let's go through some more motions. Still good, actually. A couple of times through the scoop function. So it's actually staying tight, but I am seeing some fluid loss here down there. I'm able to actually see that. Let me move the camera and see if I can see what the heck. So I don't know if maybe I lost enough fluid or what, but I am seeing something leaking here. What is going on? What is that coming from? So I'm seeing this leaking. It's coming from I don't know. Do not know. Could be coming from the pump housing itself. Hard to say, guys. Hard to say. Let me do some more investigation here before I go too far. So I am seeing the leak. It's a slow leak. Now, it'd be better if I could get my controller and actually see what's going on from over here, which might be difficult. Let me try something out real quick. All right, guys, so I'm literally about to disassemble all this, which would have been a huge fiasco. I actually found another issue, or the issue, and it's not what I thought. It's actually shooting oil out of this little bolt. So I'm gonna press the button so you guys can see that if I can. It's a little bit difficult to do all that at once, but I can try. If I reach in here. See if I can't hit a button for you. Anytime the plow hits a stop, it shoots oil out of this little yeah, hopefully you could see that. So that's my actual issue. So I didn't need this hose, but I got to figure out how to get that to stop leaking. Anyway, let me think about this for a second and I'll get back to you. All right, guys, so I literally just put a ratchet on it with an Allen key to turn the wrench, and the wrench and the bolt, the plug is actually loose. I literally just put this on here and it's just straight loose. So I wish I would have known that, because I could have literally tightened this up, I think. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe if I tighten it up, it won't work or something else is going on, but I'm gonna tighten it up now and see if that was just the only thing. It's just this needed to be tightened, just not too tight. And if that literally does it, oh man. I mean, it's a relief, because I pretty much thought that it would be a big thing. Hopefully that's it. I don't know, guys. I don't know. That was it. It was a loose plug. What? I just knew it was going to be a huge thing. But I got a hose. I'm glad I didn't take it all apart, because that would have sucked. Let me get in there and see if I can get another close up here. Up close, personal. So yeah, that did it. It was just loose, I think. That was it, man. I guess while I'm here, I can play with these hoses and get them in a little bit better position, because they're not really in the greatest of position. I mean, I just knew that something happened here. I really want to do something better. Here's the thought that I had with these hoses. What if you got the foam that goes on plumbing, like that foam, the insulating foam? Because over here, on this plow, I have two different things. On this one, I have rubber hose just wrapped around it and zip tied. On this other side, I left the hose alone and I just put rubber against the metal here. So as it kind of touches this, it touches this rubber instead of touching metal. So two different, I don't know which way is better. What if I got some of that foam that is, that's on the plumbing, like the hot pipe plumbing, and I put that foam on the hoses, on their contact points. I don't know, just a thought. But anyway, guess that's it for this repair. Turned out a lot easier. I wish I didn't spend $100 on fluid and hose, but it was kind of one of those things where I was tight on time. I was by the plow shop. I had an idea that I thought something was going on with one of the return hoses. It wasn't that. It wasn't the return hose. Do I need that fluid? Because I still have some fluid here to top off. I might as well keep the fluid in the hose, because at the end of the day, if one of these hoses blow or leaks, I can run that hose so I can be ready. And I don't need to have every hose for the truck, but just having that one that's really long, it's the longer hose. It could back me up on any of these other hoses, even though it's overly long. If this hose blows out, which it probably won't because of its quality, it probably won't blow. But if it did blow out, that hose, even though it's longer, could go in that spot, or any of these other hoses, because it's the longest hose, it could go in any of these locations. So that would be fine to keep. Worst case, I have to go ahead and go over here and go over the top. Now, if I'm in the field or whatever, I'm not going to be able to unbundle all this and do it all right, but I could take that long hose and I could route it, and have it on the outskirts of the wrapping and still be okay. But anyway, guys, I guess that's it for today's video. This is DS Trucks. My name is Sean. This is our F450. We have a full playlist of the truck since new. But if you are interested in our content, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in, and see you in the next one. Over and out.